So I wanted to talk a little bit. My name's Ashley Needles, for those of you who don't know me and are new to my videos. I wanted to talk about this last year of my life. It's been kind of crazy. It's been a divorce. It's been going through some things, and it has been the best year of my life. Discovering what I want, exploring new things, experiencing new opportunities, doing things because I want to, not for any other reason out there. I've never done that before. It's been amazing. So I'd like to challenge you to do something just for you. It doesn't have to be for anybody else. It doesn't have to be for a good cause or for charity or, to help the starving children of Africa or because your mom will approve or your dad would be happy if you did it. It's funny. I was the youngest growing up, and everybody else's needs and wants took precedence over mine. And this isn't a bad thing. It taught me a lot of selflessness. It taught me a lot of giving. But I stopped wanting things for myself at some point. At some point, just because I wanted things made it to where they weren't important. I stopped caring about my own needs and stopped even knowing I had them. I stopped even thinking about my own wants and desires. Now, for success, you have to have wants. You have to have desire. You have to have passion. Sorry, my head itches, so I think I have a bug bite. Anyway, um, so there's a quote that says something about how success will not bring happiness. Happiness brings success. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be successful, but I do know I have been so happy. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I'm all confused and flibberty-gibbet, and crazy things are going on. This month my rent is like double and just several $1,000s more than it should be, so I've got to go check and see what's going on with that. And then I'm supposed to be paying $1,000 deposit to my other place, and then it's got thousands of dollars for its first month and stuff. Anyway, so I have all these like financial stresses going on, paying lawyers because I'm still not divorced, so on and so forth. Here, I'm gonna lower this so I don't feel like I have to raise myself up to talk to you. Anyway, and then what else is going on? So I have all these like crazy huge bills coming in, and I have enough to survive and get through and get by, and without going into debt, because debt's like hugely scary to me. But I was told by one of my lawyers, my first lawyer, is to not make any money for the divorce because it would be best. And then she left on maternity leave, and now I have a new lawyer who's like, what are you thinking? You should totally be out there and doing stuff, and because he can totally cut you off at a moment's notice, which he did. Yeah. So I have all these bills, and then I have to figure out a way to pay them. And I've already have some income coming in that I've been creating, and it's not a lot. It's not anything nearly what the business was creating for us, but it doesn't really matter. I'm glad to be living my own life. I can't tell you the joy there is in a failed marriage. I know if you're struggling right now, and if you just found out, it can be like your world is upside down and you just are floored. You have no idea how to even get back up. I started taking voice lessons and pole dancing classes and seeing a therapist twice a week, and I worked on books and my writing, and stuff came out that was just so beautiful. It makes me cry and so heart-wrenching and so wise. It's just some incredible stuff that came out of me that I didn't know I was capable of. And in my dance class, I'm told I'm fierce and sexy and blah, 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 and things that I had stopped believing about myself, I'm discovering again. I'd stopped believing that I was fierce, that I was strong, that I was sensual, that I was sexy. And in my dance class, they're like, holy crap, you're amazing. But that's also because I go every day, and not all the girls do that. And then some of these guys I date, they're telling me I'm so confident. One in particular is like, I love how confident you are. And it took me a while to get to this point. It's been almost a year since finding out my husband was leaving me. And it took a while to regain my footing and to feel myself again. But I'm really enjoying it. Like, I sang for him, and I've danced, and I'm doing all these things, and when somebody's willing to pay attention to that and give me support, it's so awesome. So getting that support has been so beautiful. I've loved it. I've never had people be so supportive of me as I have had this year. I didn't know people could be so supportive of me. I didn't feel like I was worth supporting, I guess. Because after a while of people not doing things, you just start believing that that's just because there's something wrong with you. I mean, you get told something once by one person, you can ignore it, but when you get told the same message in different ways from multiple people, like, that they just stop listening to you or something goes on, then you start believing it. You start taking that as reality and seeing it other places and in other ways. When I was a little kid, I'd go outside to play, and the neighbors would go inside, and I always felt like somehow they had a psychic detector to know when I was coming outside to play with them. And possibly, I wasn't very popular, and I was kind of weird, I admit. And so it's possible that, they saw me coming and they just went inside because they didn't want to play with me. I don't really know, but that was my reality. And I learned to change and alter my perception of reality at a young age in order to experience things differently, because I'm like, well, the world does not revolve around me. I don't think this is reality. And I started questioning my belief, and I started looking at things differently. And it was really cool. And things started changing, for me. I was still the oddball and whatever, but I figured I would attract people to me who wanted to be around me. Now, it wasn't those same kids, granted. I grew up in kind of a snobby neighborhood. I grew up in the rich part of Roosevelt, Utah, which isn't very rich, but I grew up on a golf course, and all the kids that, went to Hawaii or whatever, and we were like I was like the poor girl of the golf course. And then plus I always questioned the Mormon church when I was little growing up, and that also made me very not popular. And then I was also reading all these strange books and really into these strange things. And yeah, and I didn't have social skills. Anyway, so it was so bad that the teachers almost had to cancel a class because the kids were so rude to me. In fact, I actually think the class was canceled because the kids were so rude to me that the teacher couldn't teach, if I can remember correctly. It was, I think, 10th grade, maybe 9th, but the class got canceled because people were so rude to me, being so busy insulting me and degrading me that the teacher literally could not teach that class. And it was interesting. It was definitely an interesting experience growing up. I mean, you wouldn't think that a girl like me who grew up to become a lingerie model, a business person, a public speaker, all these different things would have come from that. Like, you would have thought that the popular kids, they talk about a little bit about their struggle of like when they broke their leg and realized they couldn't get the scholarship, whatever. But no, it was me, the freak, who left town and got introduced to all these opportunities. And it wasn't because I went to college or because there's really anything extraordinary about me. It's because I went where the wind blows, and I was tumbled about, and somehow there was a divine hand in all of it guiding me the whole way, and I trusted it. And I really think that we need to trust the divine in our lives. Now, somebody asked me the other day how I felt about religion. And this is a hard question for me because, for the most part, I think religion is a bad thing. I think it has more bad than good in this world, and does more bad than good in this world because of the way people use it in their lives to justify really negative things, such as ostracizing others. I respect people's faith, and I think it's beautiful for the most part. Like, it can really build up the individual, but on a whole, for the world, it's caused more wars than anything. It does all these negative things and pushes people away from each other, and I just disagree with that. I think that the whole point that we're here for is to help each other and lift each other up and create better and more beautiful things, and we can create a better world together and better things together and more things together than we ever can by ourselves and alone. I mean, there are times to work alone, of course, but I believe it's in teamwork and in community that we create true beauty. And anyway, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I have to travel tomorrow and do all these things and wake up early. But so I don't only have a minute more to talk. But anyway, I just wanted to say that if you trust someone who's divine, if you trust in where you're being led, and trust that the things that are happening in your life, no matter how awful they are, that they're actually a blessing. Like, one of the things I listened to today, I had to think about it. I was like, did I read it? Did I do it? Anyway, one of the things I was listening to today was a TED Talk, and the guy talks about how what comes the ease with which we're given things. No, gratitude does not. Happiness does not come from easy things, but rather from the hard things that turn into blessings or something. Basically, when we take lemons and turn them into lemonade, those are the best things that can happen to us. Because ease doesn't stick with us. It doesn't teach us as much. Comfort is the enemy of greatness is a quote by Todd Henry, and I love that quote. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Like, one of the reasons I'm so terrified of getting into a relationship right now is I'm scared of the comfort that brings and how easy it'll be to not continue pursuing and being as driven as I have been this last year. I've been so driven. I've never seen myself as driven as I have been this last year. I mean, I have worked my ass off on so many different fronts, and it has been amazing. I've produced some beautiful lyrics. I still have no idea how to write to a beat or a rhythm or whatever, but I'm working on it, and I'm driven to figure it out. And I've been driven to go to my dance classes every single day, and going and doing dance for 2 hours every single day. And then I have a punching bag that I've been punching, and I've been doing my own like yoga sometimes. And I mean, then I do my writing for 2 hours a day, and then I do some Facebook work or some social media work for a few hours, and then I play with my dog for a few hours, and it's been so rewarding and so liberating. And it's like I haven't been spending a lot of time with people. I used to be such a people person, so extroverted, but I've really taken the time to just focus inward and go really internalized on myself and think, what do I want today? And where do I want to go with my life? And what do I want to do with my life? And these are heavy questions. I mean, they're hard questions. And I've always felt like my life has a huge purpose. And I've always felt like I was being guided and stuff. And now it's like the higher power has been telling me to say, Ashley, think about what you want. Think about what you want. That's been like a constant message almost every single day this year. What do I want? 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 Over and over and over and over. And so I've had these different ideas that come into my mind, and I start working towards them, and I start going for them, and I'll get stuck, and it's hard because once I get stuck, I have the hardest time getting over writer's block, and when I start losing enthusiasm to get it back, my passion for things, when I start losing enthusiasm. And then I realized, I think it was John Gray, a book by John Gray called Mars and Venus Starting Over. Anger reignites passion, I think that's what it says, yeah. But yeah, so then I realized in order to re-engage my enthusiasm for things, I have to realize what's holding me back, what I'm not happy with. Because when I start getting depressed, which I'm one of those people who turns my anger inwards, and then I just start getting low energy. And then if it keeps going, then I'll start getting resentful. Anyway, I'm very passive aggressive, which is not good. Anyway, so yeah, I'm learning to say no, and I'm learning to say I'm angry, I don't like this. So I'm getting more in touch with myself, which has been amazing. And yeah, because typically I'm the doormat and the victim, and I don't want to be that person anymore. No. So I've been doing a lot of work internally and a lot of practices, and I'll talk to safe people, relationships that I'm safe with, and I let people know when things bother me. And so I told my sister when she did some stuff that bothered me, and she felt so bad. And she's so sweet. I love my sister. I've always looked up to her, and that's part of why it hurts, because always looked up to her so much, and so she has like the power to hurt me with like just a comment or a tone of voice or not doing something she says she's going to do. And even granted, she's like really busy and doing all these different things, but for me, those things, like when I get blown off or whatever, it hurts. So yeah, I'm super sensitive. I've always been super sensitive. I'm an INFP, if you know the Myers and Briggs things. Anyway, I used to be an ENFP, but basically I'm an ambivert, which is extroverted and introverted. So I'm like on the zero, but right now I'm a little bit more introverted. And intuitive, I guess, is the N. Feeling and perceiving is what I am. Anyway, so on the Myers and Briggs test, I was going to say something. I forgot where I was going. It's too late. Oh. But, what was it? Oh, so I'm learning to not be so passive aggressive. And so when I start getting stuck or I start getting depressed, I figure out what it is that's bothering me, what it is that's holding me back from my passion, where the wall is from my passion. And I've been learning to break through it, which has never happened before in my life. Learning to break through that wall and get into my passion. And I advise you, like, if you feel like the world is kind of gray and losing its color and you're not feeling as motivated or as happy about the things as you were, number one, you have to have a vision for yourself. Keep a clear, consistent vision of the body you want to have when you work out. You know, like the other day, I so did not want to go to dance class. I was so flipping tired, and I'd been working so hard. Just the thought of going to dance class just made me want to vomit. I was like, no. I mean, I actually had been vomiting because I was so stressed out like a few days before. That's another thing. Like, I've had the most stress. Not the most stress I've ever had in my life, but this has been a very stressful year, and yet I've still been so happy. And I mean, like, the bad type of stress, the distress. And it's still been an amazing year. So, anyway, so I'm so tired, and I didn't want to go to dance class. And then I started thinking about the bigger vision, larger vision, not just, the going, how I would feel after I worked out, but because that's helped me get to the gym and work out before, or to the dance class, or to whatever. But I started thinking about the beautiful, sexy body that I want to have, and because, like, granted, I feel like my body now is beautiful and sexy, but I want some more definition, and I started picturing those hard abs and, the toned ass, and I started thinking about those things, and I went to dance class, and I got there, and I had one of the most amazing dance classes. Now, I'm taking pole dancing, and I have seen some of these girls from the beginning of when I started going to now, and I've been going every day. Granted, I'm semi-physically fit, so I was doing okay through it, but some girls weren't physically fit, and they could barely do anything when they started. Like, one of them had just gotten over being really sick for years and started up. Anyway, to see her progression and her excitement over every accomplishment has been so beautiful. Well, this was the day where we got to go off book for the first time, like completely no holds barred off book. And it was such an incredible experience. Like, I had my own experience with the music and my dance, but when I got to sit back and see the other girls, because you take turns, because there's not poles for everyone, when I got to sit back and watch the other girls explore their feminine beauty and their wildness and their sensuality and their shyness and their different senses of self, it was just such an incredible thing to see. These women who had started off being stiff and uncomfortable in their bodies, just letting go and releasing and being, and these women who had struggled so hard with their weight or their weaknesses, suddenly be able to, do things that they never thought they'd be able to do before. I mean, and just tears in some of their eyes. I mean, it was such a spiritual experience. It was very transcendent, if I was going to put a word art to it. And I know that pole dancing classes, you wouldn't think that, but it's a very sacred space for me. There's no men allowed, there's no judgment allowed, no criticism allowed, and it's just such a sacred space that I love going to. It's a very temple-like space. One of the issues I had is I don't respond well to criticism at all. Criticism just shuts me down, and I don't do anything if I get criticized. So I've always needed a very safe place to flourish. So creating this safe place in my life has been, over the last year, has been amazing. I mean, I have just shut people out and walled people out of my life because I just haven't wanted them to ruin this sacred space, the sacred temple that is my life. And if you're not viewing your life as a sacred temple that other people aren't worthy to enter, not everyone, but some people, you have to be able to, excuse me. You have to be able to say, my life is precious, and you can't take this from me. I'm not going to give you my power. This one guy keeps texting me that he wants me a massage, and he'll like text me nice things to try and get this from me. Because, you know, I was like in the crazy mood, and I'm like, hey, it was a neighbor, and like, yeah, I'm good with massages, and I, you know, showed off a little bit, and then I like walked away, and ever since then he's like, oh, I want a massage, oh, I want a massage. And I was like, well, what the fuck can you do for me? And excuse my swearing, but it's like, I don't need anybody in my life who is interested in taking right now. I'm going through a really hard thing. The only type of people I want in my life are very considerate, sweet, and kind people. And if you don't fit that bill, you're out of it. You are not part of my life right now because I don't have any extra to give. Unless I'm being given to, unless I'm receiving from you, I don't have anything to give right now. So I've pushed those people away, and I have just slammed the door on him. He's like, oh, I want a massage. I'm like, well, Healing Hands is on 3rd. I hear that this person's good. You know, go get a massage there. And it's like, oh, but I want you. It's like, well, I'm not in the mood to give one. Thanks, though. Simple. And he's like, I don't know why, but you were like this magical creature to me. I'm like, thank you. Go get a massage somewhere else. Because part of why guys are so attracted to me right now is because I am so happy. I am so incredibly happy. People are like, I always see you and you're always smiling. And it's true. I'm always smiling now. I am so happy. And no matter what's going on, no matter what shitstorm is blowing through financially or however, excuse me, I can be puking because I'm so stressed and still be happy right now. Part of it is the fact that I am so free. So free. Like the world is filled with possibilities for my life right now. And I get to pick which direction I want to take it. So I've been practicing singing. Like there's this one song and I can't play music with it or YouTube won't let it load. But so I'm just going to freelance it, whatever. I haven't sang today, so it's probably going to start off awful, but whatever. My church is the open road, just me, God, and the highway. She said I don't have time to fall in love. I'll probably leave if push comes to shove, 'cause I got one thing on my mind to do, and it may or may not include you. I'm queen of the fucking road. I'll pass you by if you go too slow. I won't wait for no man. I got a good excuse. I don't give a damn. Anyway, yeah, because I got one thing on my mind to do, and it may or may not include you. Gotta think about it. Anyway, I can't sing right now. I'm too tired. My voice is shot. So let's see. Or at least I can't sing that, because that's, you gotta have the right amount of tired and the right amount of, so let's see. I think I'll try, that's too high. I think I'll try defying gravity. Or I'm getting less tone deaf. Can't get that one right now. For some reason I have issues with my Fs. I'm not sure if that was an F, but I have issues with my Fs all over the piano. It's kind of funny. Sometimes I can sing them and sometimes I can't. So yeah, I've been learning to sing and I keep forgetting to hold my tongue down. Anyway, my form is terrible, but I'm learning. And for me, that's huge. My entire family believes we can't sing, believes we're born tone deaf. My voice teacher believes anyone can sing. Everyone can sing. She has more experience, so I trust her. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have met Messi. Can you say hi? Can you give love? What? Can you give love? No. Sorry. She doesn't want to give love to the camera right now. She just wants to sleep. I don't blame her. It's 3:40 in the morning. But anyway. So yeah, what do you want is my question. What is your purpose in life? What is your purpose this year? Because it doesn't have to be for forever. What is your purpose today? What is your goal today? What do you want today? What do you want to do today? And just think about that every morning. What do I want today? What is my goal? What is my purpose? What do I feel inspired to do? And if you don't know, ask a higher power. Anyway, I was talking about the whole religion thing and why I think religion can do really great things, and I think it has done a lot of great things for the world. Possibly more good than bad. I just think that as a whole, spirituality is far more powerful than religiosity. So that's all. I don't know. I believe in kindness and compassion towards everyone, not towards Islams or towards pagans or towards Christians, but towards all, period. Towards animals. I believe in compassion towards animals. I believe in treating everything with compassion. Though the plants on my porch that I've killed probably wouldn't agree with me on that. Yeah, when I was going through a divorce, I was kind of cruel to some plants and they died. I have dead bodies on my porch of all the plants I killed. I feel sad. I still feel guilty about the plants I've killed from the divorce. I got all these plants for my husband to decorate the house with because he likes greens and he was really worried about coming out to LA and not having enough green stuff around. So I tried my hand at having a green thumb and then he's like, oh, I'm leaving you. That was about the last time the plants got watered. Some of them. The ones who made it through that first bit are still alive, but which is one indoor palm. Yeah, I'm lucky that that one survived. For a while I had a tomato plant that was also doing pretty well. It's dead too now. Yeah, so I recommend that if you need to kill something, kill plants, because you can actually get away with murder when it comes to plants. There apparently seems to be no consequences, though there really should be. I feel like I should be in jail for killing these plants. I feel so guilty. I mean, if there was jail time for killing plants, probably everybody would experience jail time. I don't know. That's kind of a crazy thing. I thought, but yeah. I'm laughing about it, but I'm laughing at myself. Sorry, my computer shut down for a second. I am gonna turn this off, watch it later, and then decide to post or not. So you have an excellent day, night, evening, whatever it is going on for you. Think about what you want. Think about how you can help. Lots of love. Peace. Peace and prosperity to you.